Everyone, I'm here live with Craig Morrell. Say hello, Craig.
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
Hey, we're here live in the Facebook group using this really cool software that's allowing us to talk face-to-face. So give me a little hello if you guys can see this, if you can see our faces, hear our voices. We're going to give a few seconds for everybody to jump on this call. I know it's very impromptu, no scheduling really, and we're here chatting. There I am. Here now we're both on the screen there. So hey guys, Kevin Z here, Craig Morrell actually over here. Craig is on this side, Kevin's on this side, and welcome everybody to the group. I'm just also going to just quickly check that we got a Facebook Live. They're actually live on Facebook right now, as this is the first time we're doing it. I don't actually know if we are completely live yet. So
yeah, that's a good.
Well, we're not even live. That might even be good or not good.
Oh yeah, I see us.
We're live?
Yeah.
Oh, we're live because I still have a button here called Start Broadcast. That's weird. That's why the software is still in beta. But if we are live, then we are live.
Sweet.
Cool. So everyone on the call, we're going to be opening up some questions later. So if you have any questions for us, please do just type it in. We're going to see it live on our screen here. We'll save some time at the very end. But today's really designed to talk to Craig about his success in Wi-Fi, what he's done. I really think just hearing, if you guys caught the video that he did in the group the other day, there's a lot of really good nuggets of info. So I want to dive into a little bit more of what he's doing, talk a little bit about Wi-Fi marketing, how it all works. Here's a cool little thing. This is the welcome speech that I'm giving you guys. So welcome to the this live interactive chat. So nice to have you here. And let's just jump right into it. Let's talk about Craig's story. So rather than going into it myself, I want Craig to take the floor. Tell us whatever you feel comfortable with sharing, really, about how you came to the point of using my Wi-Fi and using the Wi-Fi service and how you use it today. We'll talk about that later. Just tell us kind of how you got to the point and how you're currently using it right now.
Yeah, so I've been in the local internet marketing space for about 8 years now, and I've always been into the SEO and the web dev and that type of the internet marketing part of it. And I came across white label Wi-Fi, brick and mobile, probably about 3 years ago now. I've actually been hanging out in this world, but it's a good way in my mind to just kind of get the people that are out there who are, mom and pop retail shops, to get them connected more online and use something they're giving away. So I personally, I just dig the product. I think it's a good mesh between the two. So.
Very cool. And so when you started selling it, when you go into a business and you talk about social Wi-Fi, I think you gave a lot of really good nuggets on the video. But for those who didn't see the video, maybe you're just seeing this right now, if you could summarize what you talked about there, and really when you go into approach a business owner, what do you say that really turns the light bulb on in their head? Like what sparks their interest in social Wi-Fi? Yeah,
so a big thing about it is when you're walking in the door, so many places acknowledge that they need to display that they have free Wi-Fi, that they just make it super apparent. So usually when you just talk to somebody, and we'll just say this in a generic sense, like, hey, I know you guys got free Wi-Fi. Is there a password to get on? And usually you can start stumbling upon, questions and answers at that point. It's like, oh, that's so cool. Hey, do you guys use your Wi-Fi at all for any of your marketing? And most of the time they'll look at you like you're nuts, or well, I gotta let's schedule something together and let's talk about it at a later point. I just want to get my burger right now. But if you keep it in a passive way, it prompts it from just a hey, you guys have Wi-Fi, let's turn it into something else. I know yesterday, for example, I'll just give you a quick example. I stopped in at a brewery that's opening up not too far. And I was like, hey, I noticed you guys are opening up. You have a grand opening going on. I have this Wi-Fi thing that can, when people are here, other than talking to each other, they could probably jump online and share pictures and stuff. But what if we used your Wi-Fi to connect them to your MailChimp? And most people look at you like, that's cool. I can't believe somebody else isn't doing that. People are oblivious. And it generates more conversation. And of course, you break out the phone and you just start showing them screenshots, or if you have a campaign set up or whatever it may be, just make it more visual. They engage a lot more, especially if you're talking to the right person. In this case with the brewery, I was talking to one of the owners.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think one of the things you said in your call is like, don't really get it, don't get technical about it. Like, don't come in with a piece of hardware and be like, this is what I want to plug into your place. Literally just say, how would you like if I could generate more emails for your business? Do you currently have a MailChimp account? Do you keep a newsletter? How would you like if I could add everybody in this restaurant, add all their emails automatically to your newsletter? And how it happens is kind of like the special sauce that they have to pay for. But you don't want to give that away right away. It's kind of like, you really want to sell the result, sell the benefit. Don't sell the features. Go in there and talk about exactly how they're going to benefit from this, and you're not just selling them something else. You're really genuinely trying to help their business, I think is a real big thing. So when you go to a business owner, do you kind of avoid the technology? If they say, how does this work? Like, how do you get around that question where they want to learn more about the tech and you kind of want to solve? Like, I'll give you my answer, but I first want to hear yours on how you would sidestep that question in the right way. And I don't mean sidestep it in the fact that you're hiding anything. It's just sometimes they don't need to know that there's wires and there's plugs and there's all these things, because then they just, the red light goes on in their head and they're like, you know what, there's too many things involved. I don't want to move ahead. There's unknowns. I think if you just focus on the benefits, that's what works. So how do you get around that roadblock if you ever hit that?
Yeah. So a lot of times I ask people, what are you doing for marketing right now? And a lot of times they'll say, I do some stuff on Facebook, or I'll go back to the brewery example. A big thing that they use is an app called Untapped. And Untapped, what it is it basically is sharing of different beers, and it spawns conversations about beers. So he said, we're planning on doing some stuff with Untapped just to kind of get it out there for the breweries. I said, well, hey, how about this? What if when they sign into Wi-Fi, we capture their information, and then as the following step, we bring them to your Untapped brewery page so that they can share now a photo and, comment about your beers and begin to share it within something you're already doing. He's like, you could do that? And it just started sparking more interest because it's something that they're already looking into. They're going to be working on it. And, I think they found it kind of interesting how they could just all tie together. So it's working with their marketing. And this same example can be used with whatever else they may use, Yelp or, any of them, quite frankly, TripAdvisor. So.
Yeah, I think that you hit the nail on the head there. I think you've got to ask the business owner exactly what they are currently doing for their business. If their answer is nothing, then you got to just find another client. I mean, sometimes you're beating a dead horse. Like if a client's not spending money and they don't believe that it takes money to make money, then you might as well just move on to another client. I see some people in the group who said, my client's on a very limited budget. Time to find a new client. You have to have a client who's willing and ready up front. It's part of your qualification. If you see my sales mastermind, you got to first qualify to make sure that this client has money to spend with you. Otherwise, you're completely wasting your time. Once you get past that and establish that they're currently spending money, you figure out what they're spending money on. That usually will signify what's important to them. If they're spending money on social media, on Instagram, that's important. If they're spending money on SEO, they obviously want to get found. They want more new customers. Figure out what they're currently spending their budget on now, and then talk about how Wi-Fi can be bundled into that. Ideally, you're the one who's selling them both. But if they're already doing something with someone else, which is likely the case, you can come in and say, hey, I'll integrate my Wi-Fi service into what you're currently doing already. And your ultimate long-term goal is to impress them so much on the Wi-Fi is to steal the rest of that business and then end up doing their SEO and their reputation and their social media and their engagement and all that stuff. But part of what I'm going to be coming out in this course shortly is really the step-by-step of how to bundle Wi-Fi with your existing services, whether it be social media consulting, reputation management, lead gen, getting email addresses, doing newsletters, retargeting, any of that stuff. I find that Wi-Fi as a standalone is great, but when bundled in, it's massive synergy for the business owner. So that's it. You got to find out if they're currently spending money. Go do a search on Google, see who's buying AdWords. If they're spending money and they're listed number one on Google, then they're bidding for keywords. They get it. Those businesses know that I'm going to have to pay $2, $3 a click. Might take 100 clicks to get me one client, but once I get that one client, I'll turn a profit. So that's what's important to understand. And Craig, I mean, if you have any sales advice, I think I want to let you jump into a little bit of sales advice and put you solo on the screen here with the overlay. How pro is that? And give us some of Craig's sales advice about how to go in there and kind of your number one piece, your golden nugget of closing deals.
Yeah, so kind of similar to what you said is advertisers are advertisers. They understand the value of advertising. If you don't have to go through the hurdle of explaining the benefit of advertising, you have a big piece of it. Back when I was doing B2B sales of like coupon mail and stuff, we would actually look at like church bulletins and stuff, because if you ever look at one of those, there's advertisers all over them. I'm not saying this is a great place for Wi-Fi, but if one of the guys is advertising for a restaurant and he's advertising for Pastor John, that's not a bad spot. So understanding that people who do marketing and do advertising for their business, they get the value of that. And then obviously relating that to what they're already doing. If you go in there on a technology spin, it's gonna overwhelm them. But have a plan and have something to show. I talked about it a little bit last week. The big nugget is whether you have a preloaded campaign on your phone or you take screenshots or whatever you got to do, just have something actively available regardless of the situation. So showing and seeing is believing. So you can tell somebody like, hey, I help restaurants build an email marketing database on autopilot to increase their marketing. Doesn't mean anything until you show it. So break out the phone and just start showing people, what it is. So at least they're like, oh, I can see it. I get the vision. And that's a big part of it.
Totally. Yes. Seeing is believing. I just want to throw that in there, that you can explain all day long, but a lot of people are visual learners. So they'll only get it. The light bulb will only go off when they physically see it. So that's something to keep in mind. And what was the second thing you were going to say?
Well, I was going to say too, just relating it to any type of other advertising that they're already doing, not trying to recreate the wheel on anything, but just enhancing something that they're already doing is a big benefit. So another thing that you always want to know is that people buy from you when they know they care, or when they know when you care. So if you're asking the right questions of, hey, do you do any type of marketing? What are you doing for your grand launch? What are you doing for this? Well, here's a way that we can enhance it. So if you always take a consultative way at approaching it, you'll have a bag of tricks that you could say, hey, look, this is my professional opinion. This is what I do. So if you've already qualified yourself as the marketing person, you can throw that out there. And Wi-Fi is a great way to enhance all of it. May it be Facebook or, like you said, AdWords or whatever it is, it's an enhancer. So
yeah, totally. Let me just get back on screen here, and I want to show you guys something that kind of I do and that Craig does as well, likely. So there's my iPhone, and you're going to see on the bottom this thing called albums. Okay, so all I do is I make an album. I add a few images to the album. Some of the images I have here is a screenshot, and take a look at that. So if I show this to a client, I say, when somebody logs into the Wi-Fi, they see the title, you see the network name up here. Here's going to be the SSID. Here, let me get rid of that. So this is the SSID up here. It says login. I'm going to have your logo. I'm going to have your headline. I'm going to have terms. I'm going to have these social login options and have my logo, your logo on the bottom. Guys, this is an image. Hey, this is not a live site. A lot of people get so caught up on tethering demos. This is an image. You don't need much to display this. And like Craig said, swipe. That's all you do. And to make it easy and easily accessible is you create an album on your phone. So you don't have to go fiddle through pictures of your steak last night. You can really go right to where you want to show that demo. And another quick trick is we have the MP3, MP4 videos, and we also have the animated GIFs. You can send those to yourself and just play the video right on your phone. In addition, you can do your own video if you'd like. And Craig's going to show it here. Let me get them on full screen.
I was going to say, I have the same thing, man. You can just go through, you find what's appropriate, and say, hey, have you ever signed into Wi-Fi? Because here you go. All right, so you sign in. Here's your login page. You sign in through Facebook. You can do a coupon. They can like it. And then we start collecting information that we're able to put into your database. And it's just, it makes for a no-brainer type conversation. I'm not looking for Wi-Fi. I'm not looking for anything. Just swiping. And I do the exact same thing. I have an album of variety of different styles and formats. So whatever fits the conversation.
Totally, and you can actually really get Ninja as well. For those of you who have the white label enabled, and I don't know if I can share my screen through this software, but if not, I can do a quick video on this follow-up. But all you do is you create a preview URL, you send it to yourself. Okay, now if you guys give me one sec, Craig, talk about something for about a minute while I do this in the background.
Yeah.
I want to send myself something and just show you guys real time.
Yeah, no problem. So I did exactly what you're describing. I actually, so this brewery that I talked about before, I had put together just a really quick preview page, and don't call these guys unless you want beer. But anyway, so I did exactly that, and I said, hey, look, this is an example of what it would probably look like where you sign in, you just tap it, you log in, you can have an ad that happens in between, and then you check your inbox, there's more information that we can go from there. And then afterward, it's tied into your untapped listing. So exactly what I was talking about before, you make it a real custom job so that they understand like what you're trying to do and how it can relate to their business. I mean, it's just really connecting the dots for people and showing them a real example. What was interesting about it, I'll just show you real quick. So when I had gone through it with them and I pulled it up, he was like, hey, what was that ad in between? And I said, oh, well, I have a different type of program, same thing, but what you can do is you can actually share some of the costs of this with advertisers who are around the local area who are like, hey, yeah, I would love to advertise at the brewery. Why not? And there you go. So I'm like, all right, well, let me show you what it looks like. And it's just a little in between that shows up. And he has to see it. I showed it to him, and it's a good way to split however you want to do it. So.
Yeah, that's really cool too. And here's a little trick. I got it on my phone live. What you can do is you can either, for your own business, create a bunch of generic niche previews, and we might actually ourselves create a bunch of previews for different industries for Wi-Fi logins, and then share a bunch of URLs. I might even make a little portal. I just got an idea. We might set this up for you guys. But anyways, I just sent myself that little preview URL. All right, so here's the URL I sent myself just as a text, like right in my thing. And I'm going to click this on my phone, and you're going to see it's going to open up. I don't need to be on Wi-Fi for this, guys, because this is literally just generating, and I actually got the wrong campaign. This is the boring campaign. Let me show you a second. Literally, if I want to take another one, here's another campaign. I take the landing page preview. I copy the link address. I then send it to myself. Those of you who use a Mac, you can just use iMessage because it literally will come to you in a second. So there, I got a new message right from the top. I click that. I tap on the new one. So this is actually, that's an ad served on top. You guys might remember this preview from my demo. So this is all done. If you guys see, my domain is on top. So your mobile agency is right there. The white label is there. This is actually working. So this is not an image. This is a fully functional preview. I'm clicking connect with Facebook. It's going to go next. Log me in because I'm already logged in. It's going to show my video ad that's playing that actually I'm going to replace because I think YouTube took that down. But this is just a video. Then I click next. I have my thank you page completely done. That's my AdWords on the top. There's my embedded button. This is a live page, guys. This is not using Wi-Fi. This is using my preview URL. Okay, so the message here is you could take this, and let me actually just go big again on my screen so everyone can see it. I went through this. This is not using Wi-Fi. As you can see, the LTE is being used over here, right over there. But this is just a short URL that I send to the client that they can click on their phone. So the key is when you're meeting with the client, get their SMS number, send them a text with this short URL, have them experience it on their phone themselves. That's probably the easiest sale you'll make.
You know what would be really cool, just kind of thinking about that after you said it, is I wonder if there's a way that we could take these preview links, this might be just too big, take these preview links, and as long as they're designated as preview links in some way, shape, or form in the platform, use it as its own lead capture. Be like, hey, share this with your partner, or at least in a way we can tag it. I just don't know if retargeting goes to these.
It's funny. I mentioned that to our development team, and our solution for that right now is if you look at the preview link, it actually says ? There's a preview link, so it actually doesn't save your info. But we can look at saving that info as a lead. That's an idea. It's a different complete setup. So
yeah. I was gonna say even better is at least have the retargeting portion in there, so at least we can hit some retargeting in there.
Oh, retargeting's there, so retargeting works. Yeah, you can plug the retargeting in and do that. So that's a great idea. And you can also do some ninja stuff, and I'll teach you guys this probably in my course, like when we do all the fine details of it. But I can set something up where you can literally create a text box on your site, like please enter your cell phone number to get a preview. Somebody enters their cell phone, it goes to your CRM, you save their phone number, so you're going to call that lead. Then you also send them an SMS directly with the short URL, same way I send it to myself. They click, they experience the whole thing. The thank you page is to call you, and the ad is a video of you selling it to them and explaining what it is. So, hey, this is the interstitial ad. This can be any ad you want. It can be preview of your specials. It can be a paid ad. It can be AdSense, whatever you want. Great ways to sell it. Great strategy, I think, to do that. But we'll create some generic ones that you guys can use, and we'll look at the ability to capture the lead too. But really, the only people you should be sending this to are the ones that are already who you're talking to, it's the decision maker, and you're getting to this point. Because if you send this without explaining it, they might not get it. You have to really explain what this link is, and that this link is the Wi-Fi experience of them logging into their customers logging into Wi-Fi.
I agree. And here's the thing too, is if you're going to send this to somebody in any way, shape, or form, do the work on it, put the logo, throw a background there, put the alpha, make it look good. Don't be lame about it. Throw some potential in there, what's going to happen, just like I linked in the Untapped page, make it feel like their business, because back to seeing is believing. This is killer for them. So. All right,
cool. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this really quick preview. Craig, any last parting words for the group?
Yeah, man. I'm sure you guys have all seen a lot of the stuff going on all over the country. Some of our competitors are making big things happen. So go out there and talk to people regardless of whatever they've heard, and make it really personal. Be like, hey, look, you're talking to the guy that makes decisions on some of this stuff, and I want to help you. I don't want to be some company out in New York or some company out in California. I'm trying to help you grow your business. So be real authentic about it. You know, I'm here to help you, and you know, you're going to have a lot more success with that. Just, you know, it comes down to business and people, and when it comes down to business or people, it's people. So have that authenticity to it. That's the best advice I can give you.
Yeah, that's some great advice. And I'll leave you guys with some advice as well. If you're, for example, on the fence and for some reason you have Wi-Fi, you have access, if you're seeing this video, you have access to do exactly what Craig's doing and to crush it like a lot of other partners are doing. You got to start somewhere. Go into the group, go into the members area, you know, click on the top, members, go to the support, do everything you can to get that first hotspot started. Like I mentioned, I have a course coming out very soon that's going to go step-by-step how to not only set everything up, but actually monetize and do all the ninja stuff, some of the stuff that we talked about on today's call, a whole bunch more of that stuff about how to, you know, separate yourself, stand out, generate leads. The opportunity is now because, as Craig said, there's a lot of big money getting thrown into Wi-Fi marketing, and position properly. You guys on the front lines with your clients who are already selling things, you bundle it in, you're going to cash in big time. But if you don't take action, nothing's going to happen for you. So just want to really say, if you want to get started, everything you have is already available to you. Log into the members area, click on support, click on members, watch some videos, you know, watch Craig's video in the group, go through, set up your first device. If you already have your first one set up, go out there and scale it, set this up with other clients, plug them in for free, use some of the preview tools that we told you how to do, the preview URL, send an SMS, send an email. It all works if done right. It's just not going to happen unless you take action. So everyone on the call, I want to wish you guys a happy long weekend as well. Happy Easter and to everyone. And if you have any questions, we're going to do more of these live Q&As in the group. If you want to be a guest on one of these shows, just hit me up on Facebook. Thanks, Craig, as well. Big thank you for, number one, the video you posted. That was really kick-ass, but also for your time today and sharing a lot of great nuggets of info with the group. We look at having you potentially as a more frequent guest. I know you've really given a lot to the group, so that's a highly appreciated on behalf of myself, but also everybody in here as well. And if anybody else also has ideas for little videos like this, please let us know and vote in the group. Every time I ask you to vote, I do look at every answer you give, and we are building things around the platform that ultimately is designed to help you sell more. So on that note, I'm going to shut up and take care, everyone. Have a good day, and we will talk soon. This Facebook broadcast is pretty cool, and well, I'll see you guys again soon. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Hey guys, it seems that we are still live. And it's not making it easy for me to turn this off. So you got a little bit more of me until I figure out how to, we can turn this off. This is one thing that BeLive never thought of. How do you end a broadcast? Not easy.